We're going to start with Mike Griffith and then Chip Towers.
Yeah, Coach, congratulations on the win. Well, put it into perspective. It was a historical performance by Sahvir and a really good basketball game for your team.
Yeah, I had no idea on the triple-double till after the game when John Bateman told me. I had no idea. And as I really don't look at the stats during the game. Probably sometimes I should, but I had no idea. But that's phenomenal. And it's incredible when you think of how many years they played basketball here, 116 years, and it's the first time it's ever happened. And really, he had a quadruple-double because he had 10 deflections, which is important to me. And Tumani had a triple-double because he had the points and rebounds, and he had 15 deflections. So we got a lot of high-level effort and energetic basketball from these guys. And they established early on that they were going to play with toughness. And like I said to them today, that the team that established the toughness was going to be the team that got their running game going the best, because it's hard to get your running game going consistently if you're taking the ball out of the net. And so many times our guys got the rebound, they got out ahead. We didn't have live ball turnovers, too many of them in the first half. It made a huge difference for us. And we got a lot of really good contributions. KD did an excellent job. PJ made threes. Ty Fagan, outstanding. So we had a lot of really good basketball, and they've done a great job bouncing back from the game the other day. And they continue to show resilience. They just continue to get better every day.
Yeah, Coach, obviously we're going to focus on Sahvir.
I didn't take your advice, by the way, either. I didn't take your advice with telling them we need to start the game down 12.
Well, obviously, you talked about.
You did spook me, though. You did spook me. You made it was like a nightmare. Me hearing you say that, thinking, what if he's onto something?
Well, kind of lost in Sahvir's personal accomplishment was that you touched on it there, a very decisive game win over a really good team. So what's the takeaway here? You guys got more games to play. What can you take out of this?
Well, I think you take a lot. It's the way you prepare, and it's the mindset, it's the ball movement, it's the staying connected defensively, it's the defensive rebounds. I thought Tumani establishing that he was going to be on that rim, rebounding wise, scoring wise, but most importantly with blocking the shots early and being the challenging them. That was very important. It was a very efficient game. It was a very efficient game in many ways, and against an outstanding team. He does a great job with them. They've got enormously talented players, and we knew from playing them the first time that we had to be better defensively. We had to be better taking care of the ball. You can never come in and say, okay, we know we're going to shoot the ball so well. But I thought even the threes we missed were open threes, right? They were good threes. But again, you've got to establish that you're going to play in the paint. You got to establish that you're going to get to the foul line, and that's what we're able to do.
Up next, let's have Anthony Dasher and then Mark Weiser.
Hey, Coach, if my numbers are right, I believe this was only the 29th triple-double in SEC history. And I just wanted all the years you've coached, how many have you been a part of your years at Indiana and Marquette?
Well, I know we had a famous one when Dwayne Wade had it against Kentucky.
Yeah.
I think I've had another one at Indiana. I don't know. So many times I'm not good with stats. Heck, I forget our own players' numbers sometimes, right? I don't zero in on that stuff. But for him to get a triple-double this late in the season like that, and to do it the way that he did it against a very, very good team like that, that says a lot about where he's at and what his future's like. And he did an excellent job. So I'm never real good at putting into perspective till I watch the film, but we wanted to come out and establish aggressiveness, toughness, physicality, and speed. And for the most part, these guys did that.
Just one real quick follow-up, if you don't mind. It appeared, in warm-ups, the team was very, very loose. A lot of joking around, kind of having fun, even for the first.
It's a good thing I don't come out for warm-ups then, because I might not have read that right. No, they were confident. We've had a good day, and we had a very short walkthrough. We spent more time watching film this afternoon and showing what we were capable of, and so they were in a good frame of mind. As long as it's loose without being giddy and loose without being careless. That's a good way to play. So now you got me. You're like, Chip, now I'm going to be wondering what's going on warm-ups. I'm going to be wondering if we're too loose in warm-ups. You guys keep getting in my head, man. All right. I just got to focus in on coaching the team.
Tom, you rattled off several contributors, and they were all underclassmen. How encouraging is that as you have that nucleus, as you build this thing?
Well, I think, I think you just live in the moment. I mean, I really do. I mean, you live in this moment, and like I said, when this season ends, it's the last time, inevitably we'll all be together, right? And there's no reason for that to have to happen anytime soon. And I thought our seniors did a really good job as well. But again, I don't think as much about next year. I don't think as much about the youth of it. If you're on the court right now, that means you can play and you can impact winning. And I could have easily played a few more guys tonight based on the way practices have been. I just didn't do it. But to me, bottom line is it all comes down to whatever five are on the floor, that you're as connected to what you have to do defensively, be in the stance, being active. You're not guarding LSU in just a one-on-one, even though we wanted our one-on-one defense to be good. And something that Sahvir said, this is another assist to Sahvir. After the game the other day, and I make my points, I asked if anybody else has got anything. And he made a great point. He said, we have got to start taking pride in our individual matchups. And he said that. It's one thing for a coach to say it. It's another thing for a player to say it, especially a leader player, a player of leadership. So like that became, you know what? We're going to make sure over these next 2 days that we understand how important it is that we can guard these guys one-on-one without overhelping. And it's a lot easier said than done, trying to guard Trendon Watford and Cam Thomas and Javonte Smart and Days. I think one of the keys is that Days only got 2 points. And we know he's such a factor because when they win, he gets 15. When they lose, he averages 6. He's such a factor. You can't sleep on anybody that he puts in, but he's got 4 bona fide guys that you've got to be sure of every possession. And that's not easy. So it's got to be individual defense mixed with a collective mindset of how you're going to show help, play the ball and see your man. And for the youth to be able to do that is a good sign that they continue to pick this up and understand what we're trying to get done defensively.
Up next, let's have Tori Heck and then Augusta Stone.
Coach, you've always said you're not a big numbers guy, and like you even just said, you didn't realize until you walked off the court what Sahvir had done tonight. But what can you take from those numbers, and what do you use them for from a coaching standpoint?
Which part?
Just when the guys get records like this, like those couple tonight, or just the stats in general.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I think it just goes to first off, it's very, very rare. So it's never going to sink in when it happens immediately. But it's also a very profound thing. And to have somebody accomplish that at such a young age, at such a prestigious league against a really, really good opponent like that. So I think it's all part of the experience, whether you're coming back from a deficit, whether you're holding a lead, whatever it is, every experience you go through should help prepare you for the next one. And I think when he has shown that when he's rebounding the ball, he had 7 rebounds against Missouri last week. When we understand that we've got to get guard rebounds because we're not going to be overly physical with the majority of these front lines that we see. So we've got to be physical with them. And that may mean we don't get the board, but we've got to have a guard slide in there to do it. And Sahvir understands that. And I think the way you get it in a win, and then the way that he did it defensively with his activity too, that says a lot.
Hey, Coach, congrats on the win tonight. I want to know how much did creating that positive momentum in the first half, help catapult and set the tone for the rest of the night? It's kind of opposite of what's been happening with falling behind, getting that ahead. Just how much did that do for y'all?
I think it did a ton because the way we did it. And they did it on the defensive end. And we stayed locked in. The baskets they were making, for the most part, they had to earn them. We were not giving them baskets. They had to earn the baskets. And but a lot of times we were getting the defensive board and we were making the next pass. We were getting behind the defense. We got our running game going. We got some easy buckets. We got dunks and layups, which I think is really, really important. The threes build confidence, but the dunks, the layups, the getting behind the defense, that builds leads. And that's what you have to get. And I thought we took a few too many threes early on. So I wanted to make sure that we were getting the thing established to go through the paint, because we just know we're going to need that bonus. We've got to be pro. Now that's a number I do know. I know all the time where we're at in conjunction with how far we've got to go to get to the bonus. And I know when we're successful, if we get to it early enough. So those kind of numbers I pay attention to during a game. I don't study the numbers till really after the game. But bottom line, momentum is always up for grabs. And these guys did a really good job of grabbing momentum and not letting it go.
All right, and the last two questions, let's have it from Palmer Toms and Ryan Curley.
Yeah, Coach, you mentioned the guard rebounding there. For someone of Sahvir's size, what does that say about him, his aggressiveness and his toughness to get 10 rebounds tonight?
Well, I think it says a lot. I mean, I think when you and he had 11, which is, I'm just looking at it now, he had 3 offensive boards. I think it says a lot about being in position, right? Like you're guarding and you're in position. And he's a tough kid. I mean, he's a tough young man. I mean, he's got an incredibly bright future. There's no doubt about it. And so when you play that way and you show your level of toughness, when a point guard gets a rebound, it skips a whole step of the break. There's no outlet anymore. Now you're speeding up the floor. Now you're throwing the ball ahead to somebody that's in scoring position or somebody that can make one more pass. That makes all the difference in the world. And when you can skip that step of getting an outlet pass to your point guard because the point guard grabbed the ball, it's a big deal.
Hey, Coach, I know you're always focused on winning the next game that's in front of you, but I was wondering if you guys had made any progress on adding another game or rescheduling Texas A&M, if that was in the cards.
Well, that's not up to us. That'll be up to the league, and we'll learn. We'll play another game next week, but we'll learn later in the week who that's going to be. But certainly we plan to play, and I don't think there's any reason that we wouldn't, unless something happened with COVID with somebody else. But we'll wait for the league to tell us, and we'll go. All right, whether it's here, whether it's on the road, whatever it is, we'll be ready to roll.
All right, thanks so much,
Thank
Coach,
you.
and
Have a good night.
congrats on the win.